Hello darkness, my old friend. Come to knit some socks again. Light. I can see. I can knit. Hello. Welcome to already week 4 of this Roll for Socktober mini-series where I roll a D20 to determine how my socks will look. Just to catch up a little, this is sock number 7 of this month of October and we are, well, here. So before we can start knitting again, I shall of course have to roll my trusty D20 to determine which color will be our first, well, color of this week. Let's grab my bowl. That I apparently have filled with other stuff, I'm sorry. So first up, color number 5. For 16 rows. A question for those amongst you who are not yet already fed up with all this sock shenanigans. How do you feel about a compilation of this series? Like my 100 days of spindle spinning video is my best performing video, and I have heard from some of you that they just put that on whenever they're crafting and need someone in the background to keep them company. I could do the same thing with these videos actually. Like, would you like me to put all of my sock knitting vlogs one after the other and form it into one monster sock knitting vlog of 2 hours? I mean, I could do that. I could very gladly do that if you let me know in the comments if that is something that you would enjoy. Anyway, while you ponder over that decision, I'm gonna go ahead and edit last week's vlog, because that still has to happen. Good morning. This is a very crooked standpoint for you, and I need to hunch over to be in frame, but I'm going to keep it at that because I don't have much time right now. Not in the literal sense, I do have time. However, this vlog might be shorter than the others because I had some technical difficulties. No, that's not the right word. I had some technical disaster. Wednesday evening, after filming the beginning of this vlog, I went to charge my camera's battery, as you do, and instead of giving a full orange charge light, it started blinking. That should have been the first sign that things were amiss. I wanted to shoot some reveal shots of sock 3 and 4 for the previous vlog, and then my camera said, no, I do not recognize this battery. This battery is counterfeit. I will now shut off for your safety. Either one of those is fried. I don't know which one. And I cannot find my spare battery. Or I could not find my spare battery. I still cannot find my spare battery. It really is lost. But I bought 2 new batteries. So one of those is currently what is running the camera. I also bought a new charger, but that is still in the mail. I do not dare to charge my new batteries with this old charger, because what if it is the charger that is faulty, and then it will also corrupt these new batteries. And these new batteries do not come fully loaded, so I am trying to convey this message to you pretty fast so that I can do it while there still is just a little bit of juice left, even though it's also blinking. Anyway, it is Friday morning now, and I am at the heel flap of this sock. Once again, this is turning out to be a completely different sock than we are used to seeing, for there is, once again, nothing of the moody handspun, only commercial and then not so moody handspun. It kind of reminds me of a sports sock. I don't know what you think. It is, as I said, Friday morning. It is 7:45. I might knit a few rounds, but then I'm going to work. And afterwards, since my car is back from the shop and now has working headlights, I will go to art school. On Saturday, I'm at my mom's, so it might be Sunday when I see you. So I will update you on the sock by Sunday, and then probably on Sunday we will spend quite some time together because we need to catch up on lost sock knitting time because of technical disasters. Good morning, it's Sunday, and my new charger arrived, which means that we're back in business. And with back in business, I mean, and no one is surprised, that I have finished my seventh sock. It really stayed in that colored toned yarns until, this orange bit, but yeah, that's a cool toned sock. Sock number 7. It also surprises absolutely no one, because I'm holding a needle in my hand the entire time, that I have already started sock 8. And that is the complete opposite of sock 7, for it is once again, hey. Anyway, as I was saying, it is once again in the warmer tones, I think up until now, but I'm going to jinx it by saying it. But anyway, this is my favorite start of a sock thus far, like the nice golden green, a little stripe of blue, and then just a gradient to red. Peak sock cuff. Well, let's hope it doesn't get entirely ruined with whatever color we roll next. Color 18. That's already in the sock, so that won't ruin it. 3 rows of color 18 and it's still cute. What's next? Color 2. Bright yellow. Haha, yeah. 20 rows of color 2 and still cute. Yes, still cute after 20 rows. Even though in like the previous videos I might have come across a little bit complaining about the big stripes. And then you gave me wholesome advice of how to remedy that, and then I did not listen to that. Why did I not listen to your advice of using a D12 or a D8 instead? Well, the answer is really simple. Time is just a concept and always the first thing to fade. You were commenting on things that for me happened 2 weeks ago, and you know that I knit 2 pair of socks in 2 weeks, so 4 socks into this adventure, I wasn't going to change it. I was not going to change my plans. I was sticking to the plan of using the D20 to roll the rows. I was already sticking to that halfway through the first sock. Like I could have frogged that, started over with a smaller die, but I did not. And actually, now that I'm looking at all 8 or well 7.5 of them, quite glad that I did. Maybe if I do this project again on a later date, I will go with the 8 or a D12. But I don't know, just looking at them like this, I think the D20 was a good choice. They do not look how I envisioned them at the very start, at September 30th, but man, I love these socks. And I will be so excited to wear them once I'm done with all of this. Like, there are so many cool combinations possible with these socks, and I think it is helped a lot by the big colors, like the big blobs of color. I mean, these 2 socks, like sock, I think this is 5 and sock 8, will fit together just because they both have that really big blob of yellow. Here's also a really big blob of yellow. All this big stuff of color 8 will stand out and make those socks matching. Same with like the reds, right? Maybe I am making excuses for myself, but in the end, I'm glad that I sticked with the D20. Looking at them all together, the D20 was a good choice. I like them. And I think that's all that matters, right? Anyway, how will sock 8 continue? With color 17, which does not exist, so that's a reroll. Color 4. Yeah, some nice purple. Of course, after nearly 4 weeks, I know my colors by heart. It's the same with the pattern. I don't think I have had to look at the pattern for these socks since sock 2. I can now perfectly make a sock just out of my head. Don't need to look at a pattern. And I think it's a skill I'm very glad to have. Yesterday evening, my husband and his band had a gig, and after I had completed my roadie duties, I of course continued knitting. And I don't know if you remember from previous videos in this series that saying things either jinxes it or makes things come true. And I might have said that I am now okay with the big blobs of color, so then naturally I get what I do not know whether to call a God tier or a troll tier series of rolls. We get color 4, color 9, color 3, color 12. My entire sock is purple, almost. Luckily there is this yellow and red going on, giving it some contrast, because this is a lot of purple. But that's chaos as well, of course. The risk that you could roll colors that just look almost identical. Maybe I should do, after this entire roll for Socktober thing, a sock with these 4. I don't know, combination isn't bad. It's just a lot of purple. Since October is nearing the end, we are today Monday the 27th of October, I'm going to make the following executive decision. That is that I will not continue this series for the entire month. Thursday the 30th and Friday the 31st will not be included into this Socktober series. So I'm going to continue knitting until either this sock is finished or it is Wednesday, whatever comes first. I think in theory, if I continue knitting Thursday and Friday, I could have a 9th sock, but that would make my editing life so much more difficult. And if I just continue until Wednesday, that's going to be smooth sailing for me. And also 8 socks already is so abundant and exuberant and...
Jente, the word you're looking for is extravagant. It is the same word in Dutch. Please, Jente, extravagant.
Over the top, actually, that I don't think I need a 9th. I'm going to be content with just 8. She says, as if 8 socks isn't entirely crazy. Good morning. We are at the final rows of our 8th sock. It's looking incredible. Like, this is once again a sock comprising of only the original 20 colors, and it is wild. But I like this. This is the kind of wild that I want. Now, as you can see, very, very small toe. And we are probably going to roll for the final color of this hashtag Roll for Socktober project collaboration process. For we only need one more decrease and then we can graft the toe. The graft, just as the cast on, is not another row. So I'm not grafting with another color. If in the end I only roll 2 or something. Just heads up. Final color is color number 1. We started with a 20 and we're ending with a 1. Yeah, we won't need 6 rows, so that's good. Are we savoring the final moments? Are we? For you know that this is probably the last clip where you see me knitting on this sock adventure. Well, for now at least. I hope I'm not summoning any kind of foul sock monster by arranging them like this, but ta-da! All my socks together! And I would be lying if I say I didn't feel a little bit proud of this wheel, sun wheel of socks. And now for those of you who are still a little bit skeptical about the idea, the color of these socks, wait until you see the actual reveal shot, because when they are on a foot, it's completely different still. I hope those reveal shots got you as excited for these socks as I am. They're just so good! All 8 of them. I might have complained on the way there, but now that I have all 8 socks, I am so happy. I will not need to be making any more socks in the near future, but does that mean that because I don't need to make more socks, that I will not make more socks? Well, probably not, because making all of these actually gave me such good ideas for more color combinations. And I still have quite a bit of scraps left, so I might do some palette cleansing after this, but I mean, I am still in the vibe, still in the hype of knitting socks. That's how I got 8 in a month. I was borderline obsessed with knitting socks this month. Like, I took this everywhere. As you have seen during all the vlogs, I have been places and my socks have been places. I think, however, if I would do this exact project again, I would make some changes, because if I don't, I would end up with 8 of these socks once more in a next October. And while I love them dearly, it would be great to have some variation in my sock drawer as well. So I think if I were to do this next year, or maybe the year after next, depends on if my creative colleagues, my creative friends, want to join in for another collaboration, I might go a different route. Like, I have in my 52 Weeks of Sock book, volume 2, some patterns that consists of triangles or rectangles, and maybe if I'm going to do another roll for Socktober, it would be to determine which color the next rectangle or the next triangle is going to be, and not just stripes. I'm happy with the stripes as of now, but next time I think I want something different. I also just know this pattern by heart by now. What's the challenge in making this once more? I'm going to repeat myself. I would be lying if I didn't feel a little bit proud that I could keep up my speed of 2 pairs of socks per 2 weeks, so a pair of socks in a week. When I previously did that, set that record, I was on vacation. I had actually nothing to worry about except for knitting socks and enjoying myself. This month I have, well, also gone on a weekend, but I have just been working my day job. I have been going to art school. I have been cooking and doing all the stuff around the house that one does in a month. And I still managed to do that. It is just my average speed, I guess, to be knitting a pair of socks in 1 week. I've made 8 in 28 days, so that's like 3.5 days per sock. Yeah, that checks out, that checks out. I'm very glad that I did this as a collaboration with some friends, because I really loved seeing all the socks appear. And even more so, I'm happy that I kind of opened it up with a hashtag that you could participate in as well. That just brought me enormous joy to be tagged in your socks, looking at all the different ways that people interpreted the roll for Socktober. There have been very good socks made this past month. And again, if you would like to see a compilation of my 4 videos, tell me down in the comments. If you want to see the other videos that were made during Socktober, take a look at the playlist, which shall be in the end card in a couple of minutes, and also in the description. And anyway, if you like these kind of Irish shenanigans, then maybe you could like, comment or subscribe, but of course that is all up to you. And as for me, I will see you in a next video. But before we do that, maybe you could look at that playlist I mentioned. Bye!